Telling here with us live this morning, our home gardener from the Hillside Garden Center. Lots of calls this morning, Jim. Lots of questions for you.
Great, I'm ready.
Okay, our first question comes from Joseph. Joseph says, my tomato plant is 9 feet tall. He's never seen this. How did it get so tall?
Well, it's interesting. There's two different types of tomatoes, and a lot of people want that early tomato. And the early tomatoes are a type that only grow so far and stop growing. But you get the Roma, the sauce types, they'll continue to grow right up until it freezes, you know, new growth. So as long as they have something to climb on or allowed to, they'll get up that tall.
It could get even taller there. Jackie is talking about her dahlia bulbs. How should she store those for winter?
Well, one of the tricks that I've seen that works really well is take like a old cheap styrofoam cooler or an old cooler and have some dry peat moss. And once you get the bulbs out and dry them good, you pack them in the peat moss in a cooler. They leave that in your garage.
Very nice. Good. Debbie says my hanging flower baskets are turning yellow and light green. How often should I be watering those?
Well, as the hanging baskets get more and more grown in, the root system gets really packed. And watering is more and more important. And the reason they're turning yellow is they need fertilizer. They've used up all the nutrients. So you should actually be using a weak solution fertilizer almost every time you water at this point, but really soak them good.
Our next question this morning comes from Homer. When should I get my garden soil tested?
Well, the soil test can be done at any time. It's just a matter of knowing what's going on in the soil fertility-wise and pH-wise. So anytime you do it, even if you do it now and you're preparing it for next year. So anytime.
Sue, this question is yours. She wants to know, how do I know when it's time to harvest my turnips?
Well, it's like with beets and carrots or anything else, is you just dig around just a little bit and you'll see the top, see how big they are. And once those turnips start getting up to size, start eating them.
Yeah, just start paying attention to them. Our last question, we have time for one more. Bernie, how do I prevent tomato blight from ruining my crops?
Well, there's many different types of tomato blight, and the late blight is the real scourge that we had a number of years ago. And your best bet is starting early in the season and planting varieties that are listed as being resistant to them.
All right, a wealth of information as always. Jim Hotelling, our home gardener from Hillside Garden Center, here with us this morning answering your questions live. You can watch the Home Gardener seasonally every Wednesday and Friday right here on Action News This Morning.